Hey guys, this is Khalif, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Sherry Ann. We're going to just talk about the clean program elimination diet, but just the reintroduction phase. Click on the screen somewhere, and in the description box if you want to see us talk about the actual diet part where we couldn't have anything at all. But now we'll just talk about when we reintroduced foods. Go to the playlist if you want to see each one in detail. Because hopefully we won't do that here. So, for me, the reintroduction phase was actually more torturous than the elimination phase. It was easy once we set the diet and said, okay, we can't have beef. I didn't want beef once. We can't have cheese. Okay, I can't have cheese. No sense in looking at it, trying to justify eating. I can't have cheese. That's it. So that was easy. But when you tell me you can have cheese for 2 days, then you can't have it again for a few more weeks, that's when we have problems. That's when I'm just like, so you're going to give it to me and take it right back. Take it away. You know? It's like that cat dude. What's his name? My Cat from Hell guy. When he be playing with them.
Jackson
with that
Galaxy.
That little fishing pole, and he put like a bird or something at the end. And a cat grab it, and he just snatch it out of there and just play with him some more. That's what it felt like.
So I'm thinking of Key and Peele when they were playing the.
Oh, see, I don't know why you're thinking of that. See,
they played with the cat toy.
But yeah, it's like you just took it away. Just like, yeah, you can have milk. All right, no, I'm just joking. You can't have no milk. So yeah, that was rough for me.
You see how he mentioned the cheese, right? Because that's really what got him. It wasn't the beef. It was the cheese.
Well, I don't care about it. Like, ooh, you can have a pepper today. But not tomorrow. Oh, a pepper? Come on, man. Give me my cheese. Stop playing with me.
It was the cheese.
And whey protein. I missed that too. I know you miss whey protein.
The nasty things.
They weren't that bad.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, that was tougher. So you have to have a plan for going into the reintroduction.
You need a mental plan.
Yeah. And you have to have a menu.
Yes.
And not just for when you're doing introduction, but if you remember, it's you reintroduce the food for 2 days, and then for the next 2 days you go back to the full elimination. So you can't have anything, and you see how your body responds over that 4-day period. So you need to have a plan for those 2 days that you're going to reintroduce that certain item, and then for the next 2 days that you're going back, that you have to get rid of it. So first, you don't want to buy too much of whatever it is. You're only going to have it for 2 days.
Yes. And
then you don't want to then come up on the 3rd day of that 4-day period and say, wow, I'm not prepared to go back to the full elimination now, for whatever reason. So you definitely have to be prepared to do that and then move on to the next food. What are your thoughts?
I agree with what he just said. It was definitely harder going back and forth because you did feel more like you were having some privilege taken away after those 2 days. So it made it harder to adjust your mind to, okay, you know what, I just have to do this, whatever. So, yeah, and I think that's when we got pretty frustrated, was towards the end of that.
Yeah. Yeah, what else brought on the frustration, at least for me, was that there was no change. I mean, if you watch Sherry Ann's videos on her channel, you see that there was no change in her physically at all. And, we didn't feel more alert or less groggy. There was nothing that happened we can say, ooh, I feel better not eating this thing for 3.5 weeks.
Right.
So, that was the thing that just became a little discouraging, where it's like, all right, obviously this failed. Food doesn't do anything to us. Whatever's going on is not based on food. So why keep doing it? And we had to just keep pushing ourselves. And honestly, the biggest reason why I wanted to keep doing it, and we lasted as long as we did, was because I was doing it publicly. We were making these videos, writing blog posts, talking about it on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And because of that kept me going, because I said I don't want to just quit. I don't want to just stop in the middle, because we know there's nothing beneficial is going to come of it outside of what we already have done.
Yeah. I think my motivation to keep going was, I already spent a month not eating anything. I'm not just going to cut it short. You know what I mean? I might as well follow it through. So even though there was nothing that it showed me, at least I can say I did it, So when I go to a doctor or talking to a nutritionist or anyone who often tells you that you're going through what you're going through because you didn't try this, at least I can say I did an elimination diet, you know, and I did take these things out for 30 days all together, and there was no change. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I think overall it was good. And like we said in the previous one, you know, I definitely recommend this. Recommend that most people try this. And like I said, it's not some magic formula or anything. You know, we don't think these foods are terrible, but you know, you may find that there is something there. You may find that you feel more sluggish if you have, you know, dairy. And it doesn't have to be lactose. It could be something else within the dairy, or a combination of when you have dairy with something else. Who knows what it can be, but you'll be able to notice these changes rather than just guessing at them. If you remove things for this long, get your body, you know, cleansed of the effects of them. You know, you're doing it for 3, 4, 5 weeks even for some of the foods. Before you reintroduce them, and then you just shock your system and throw them back in for 2 days. And for those 2 days, you should be doing it several times a day. You know, you should be having it in all your meals.
Yeah.
You know, when we introduced dairy, I made sure that I had, like, you know, at least one protein shake a day, and was having whey protein. And then I would have other things that had the dairy in it. So it wasn't just like I bought one piece of cheese. You know, I was making sure to almost overwhelm my system with dairy to see if there was any impact, and it wasn't one.
It was such a challenge for him to do that, you know?
Yeah.
He really sacrificed.
I did,
to
man.
stuff himself
I did that for
full
y'all.
of dairy and cheese.
I did that for you guys.
Because he cares.
And then that pineapple got me sick and trying to make me think something wrong with dairy. But
the only thing I will say is that for the reintroduction phase in the PDF of how to do the diet, I don't feel that there was enough I can't even say it anyways. I don't think it was specific enough in how to go about the reintroduction, take things out. And I know that we just have more questions in that part of it, and we couldn't find answers. There is a forum, but you have to sign up and then get someone to include you before you can actually enter it, and and ask those questions. And there's a number to call that we just didn't call. But still, my point is that in the instructions themselves, there were a lot of answered questions. And even with the reintroduction, the two he focused on were gluten and dairy. Then it's just like, oh, you can do the rest if you want to. And the rest were, soy, eggs. He lists a few of them, but it didn't say anything about, okay, shall I be doing this for the bananas too? Or just the strawberries? You know what I mean? Like those things were not at all specified. Or, if those extra things didn't count as much, could we, reintroduce those back right away?
Right.
Those things just weren't clear.
Yeah. So, because they weren't, we were very strict. We didn't have, I still haven't had a banana.
That's why I bought so many today.
So we were strict with that. I have, the strawberries, the grapes, all those things. We just said, he didn't say you can add them back in early, so we're not going to add them back in until we're completely done. So we were very strict. I don't know if you have to be as strict, but you know what? It doesn't hurt. And like Sherry Ann said, if you're going to go that far with it, you might as well finish strong and not just try to, give in to some urge or some craving or something. Say, I haven't had this in 2 months. Okay, then going 3 more days is not going to hurt you.
Right.
You're already going 2 months, so keep going. So I think it was a good experience. It was great being able to do it together. I think it would have been very difficult if Sherry Ann had just done it alone and I'm eating, even if it doesn't have to be pizza and moles. I could have just been eating, regular food. But if I'm eating
all that cheese,
if I'm eating with no restriction and she has an insane amount of restriction, it would be very difficult. So, I wanted to make sure we were doing it together.
Yeah. And I really appreciated that. As I said in my video, that was a really big deal, and that helped to make it possible.
And one thing, my weight fluctuated a lot through this. I had a big gain before we did this, like that month before, and I was up to like 260. I think the day we started this, I weighed myself and I hit 260. And my weight went from anywhere over the last couple of weeks, like while we were ending, between 243 and 255. So I had a lot of fluctuation with my weight. And my weight fluctuates a lot anyway, normally. Like when I used to weigh myself 2-3 times a day, I would notice big jumps. You know, and I could have big jumps even if I didn't have a whole bunch of water. But my weight could jump 10, 12 pounds in a day easily. You know, go up or down, you know, or have go in between. So, I don't know about you. I don't know what you saw as far as weight-wise.
I mean, I lost 5 pounds, but it was pretty, you know, like that. It was pretty consistent. You know, it wasn't like I had some huge loss doing this or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not the purpose of it. On Amazon, in the comments, a lot of people gave it low reviews, and the reason why was because they didn't lose a lot of weight.
And it's not a weight loss
Yeah,
plan.
it's not to lose weight. It's to purge your body of all those things that could be affecting it and then add them back in one at a time to see if they are impacting it negatively. The only weight loss comes is because you end up being in a caloric deficit because you're limiting the food that you're going to eat, and you're having, and for these meals, you're having smoothies. And unless you make them high-calorie smoothies, you're probably consuming less calories than you do when you have 3 normal meals. And so you're going to lose weight because you're eating less calories.
Right.
That's where all the weight loss comes from. It doesn't come from eating clean. You know, it comes from you being in the caloric deficit. So a lot of people who are frustrated, like, I didn't lose weight. Well, that's because even though you eliminate a lot of food, you made up for those calories somewhere.
I had a lot of nuts.
You know? Yeah. And nuts were...
What's been missing that?
I mean, you know, if you've looked at my FitnessPal thing, I mean, some days I have between 500, 700 calories worth of nuts. You know, and that's when I had low-fat stuff during the day. And, you know, or only put a half avocado in my smoothie, then I would just throw in a lot of nuts. You know, so, yeah, that's something that, you know, you have to consider. That you're not doing this for weight loss, but weight loss can be a great byproduct of it if you're finding a way to stay full and just eat less calories. But then that's what you should be doing for weight loss all along anyway.
Right.
So there's nothing special about this except foods are banned. So you can't fall off the wagon unless you choose to completely leave the elimination plan.
Right.
And I think if you make this type of commitment, it will be difficult to break that, especially if it's for your overall health. So anything else you want to say about it?
No, I think, no, my biggest thing was just that I found the last part not specific or clear enough. But
Yeah.
other than that, and the little torture we went through because we were being teased, no,
Yeah.
that was about it.
So if you have any questions, you know, let us know here, or if it's too much to type or your question may be kind of personal or whatever, then just send me an email through my website. The link is below. Go to the website to the contact form and just send me an email that way.
I say do it.
Yeah, I
Just so
think
know.
you should do it.
I mean, especially because you don't have to buy the book to do the diet.
Right.
He gives you, on his website, you can download the program, you know. They give you a grocery list. They're very specific in telling you what's excluded, what's included. You can get all that for free. Why
Yeah.
not? Just
and
do it.
A lot of people like the meals that we were putting together, and some of the recipes that we got out of it, we're going to do recipe videos on. So you can get some creative stuff out of that.
You're not holding like 25 videos, right?
Yeah. You keep see, and I'm going to keep putting it. She's doing those recipes. Somebody wanted curry chicken or something like that a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think Cynthia did, maybe. But anyway, yeah, you owe them a lot. Shows you a lot, guys. All right, so that's it. So you got any questions, ask us. But try it out. You don't have to spend a dime to try it.
Yeah.
So you have nothing really to lose. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.